The most pertinent advice I ever came across in cement is that it all depends upon the way you burn your fuel, whether you burn your pockets or not. I think that summarizes cement for me, because like fuel is something like 60-70% of the cost, and the way, the better you burn it, the better your efficiency, the more sustainable you are, the lesser your carbon footprint. So we burn fuel mainly in the kiln, and then obviously in the power plants. So these are the areas where you burn. Chetan was talking about, expert optimizer. So I think India is blessed with a great startup ecosystem, and we have a lot many youngsters coming up, and a lot of innovation is happening in that space. So I'm sure that every industry will be having its own process optimizers, and cement is no exception. Again, when I look at, say, steel or other industries, I see a lot of them. So the one thing which really has made a change is that we have removed the person from that central control room, and now the loop, whether the AI or the machine learning, that itself controls the entire thing. So in terms of the response time, in terms of the accuracy of the response, things are much, much better at this point of time. And that is probably leading to a better landscape. And everything, it's all cumulative. And if you save one kcal specific in stationary rate or a specific heat consumption, when you convert into terms of CO emitted, it is pretty huge. So I think this is where the difference is. The decision maker has been shifted, and we burn our fuels much.
Concrete, as you know, is the second most used substance by human beings after water, which means that any small savings we are getting over there, or any small impact we are making, is going to go a long way in making. I think we are now getting a number of requests from our clients, whereby we are helping them with not only the focus on saving the fuel cost, which of course is one of the parameters, but also helping them reducing their carbon footprint. And there are opportunities not only in kiln, which is of course maybe the most sort of energy reliant process, but right from mining, for example, where we are looking at the fuel consumed by the dumpers, the excavators, their idle time, which ultimately adds up to the, the fuel consumption, etc., right up to the cement mill and dispatches. And in these initiatives, I think the companies are looking at reducing the energy consumption by up to 5 to 7% using various technologies. And what we have found is that while the technology is of course one of the answers, but I think the entire mentality of the top management, how committed they really are in get investing the time, money, and people into these initiatives, and ultimately what value they see from that, because this will require investment not only in technology but also in people's mindset, getting certain processes right to make sure that whatever technology you are investing is able to get the right results. And then obviously the onus also lies on consulting companies like us, as well as the digital leaders who are present over there, because after making all these investments, unless you are able to back up the return of investment with the right data, which gives the sort of the confidence to the management that the investments are paying off, you will only do sort of a one or two projects, and then the entire journey will stop. That you don't want. You want, to go step by step and move into the right direction. That is where I think the monitoring and reporting of ROI is also now basically gaining traction. But we are reaching there. So I think the maturity has immensely increased, and I think we are going to see a lots of exciting things in near future. So I think defining the business value, identifying the stakeholders and mapping them, and more importantly, making all the stakeholders a part of your project and assign the right responsibilities to them. It is very important for the success of these projects, because I think as I think Nikhil had mentioned, what we are talking about is not simply some technological implementation, right? It is at end of the day IT OT integration. So unless the OT feeds that data into IT and we are able to process it in a sensible manner, I think it will simply remain a toy which is throwing out data which maybe you will see for first 2 to 3 months. and then that data will make no sense to anybody in the organization. So I think that is where the crux of change management is important to ensure the success of the project.
As a part of our manufacturing excellence journey, we have started TPM as one of the tool under the umbrella called LIPO, Lead, Excel, Energize, Performance. And under that performance, what we are doing, we are basically focusing on AM and PM. Basically the TPM tools what we are using. Now, when you go for AM and PM, you will find there are many aspects of this equipment downtime and the data to be collected. Earlier, we used to collect it through the Excel sheets, and it was a huge Excel sheet getting analyzed. Now we are just going to put this as a part of our SAP. And in this process, what we are doing from different plants, we are collecting the data under PQCDSM score, and based that data also getting analyzed. We are also going to create some dashboards for the different operational people, like a plant manager should see this dashboard. Maybe at the top floor, what you mentioned is, in corporate, they should see some different dashboard. So the person can take action. So the reporting has been reduced. The dashboards are helping us online analysis. And, it also giving us a lot of new aspects to look into it. One activity we did last year, we have started using one pilot project in augmented reality glass for sourcing and monitoring, and then also used drones for inspecting the inside the kiln and inside the APH air preheaters. So these are the things also has added a lot of benefit. And I think in IT, the imagination can take you to the wherever you want. Going forward, I think this is really interesting a journey where, at every part of our business operations, now we are getting benefit how we are using IT. I'll just give one example. Like, in our ready-mix operation, we use transit mixtures and it goes to the customer to deliver the transit mixture. Earlier, people used to simply call the driver and say that, where the mixture is, when it is coming back to my plant for loading, whether customer has released it or not. Now we have 365 into 7 GPS tracking, and in one delivery control tower, one of our persons sitting there, he's analyzing how many transit mixtures are standing inside the plant for loading, how many are in the customer site. Every day we are getting dashboard that yesterday the customer site, what is the retention time of the transit mixture, which actually helping us to get our transit mixture in time, so that my logistics costs are optimum and my service to the customer is maximum. So those type of the things also we are doing it. I think for me, IT is just beginning, and many more things can be.
If you ask me what is the playbook for successfully doing asset performance management, or what are the steps for successful predictive maintenance or prescriptive maintenance projects, I would say first of all it's very important to do asset prioritization, because for large companies you have multiple plants, every plant has multiple units, every unit has multiple equipment, etc. So how do we prioritize them? So from criticality point of view, from the value point of view, or from the negative points of failure, equipment failure, etc. are concerned, all of them need to be taken into account to do this predictive maintenance projects and a setup time improvement projects from critical assets point of view. Then secondly, there are several important building blocks which we need to take care of. Some of our cement plants are really aging, okay, and where we don't have enough automation. So if we first step for us is to complete automation in the plant, so that we can get data in a systematic and in a structured manner. Then if you see subsequent to that, then we need to do data ingestion through integration, etc. So through IoT enabled sensors, or through historians, or through automation systems like L1, L2, L3 automation systems in the cement plants. So that data ingestion into your predictive maintenance solutions is the key thing. And then a lot of times I have noticed that the companies who provide predictive maintenance solutions, they don't have experience in integration with SAP plant maintenance, so or whichever ERP cement company is using. That's very important. It's very important to integrate with SAP plant maintenance, because otherwise you have two islands of solutions: one advanced analytics and predictive maintenance solution, and on the other hand we have SAP, and then there is a manual link. So whatever equipment failure is being predicted by the predictive maintenance solution, somebody needs to go into the SAP system and then create maintenance notification, work orders and order closure, etc. It's a very long cycle. This is one thing which we are working on bridging, so that the moment an equipment is predicted to be failing, automatically in the system, SAP system maintenance notification is created, and then the ERP process takes over. So that integration is very, very important in order to implement this asset uptime improvement initiatives. And then you have standard or AI ML based algorithms which we use for data processing, and then visualization on dashboards and providing advanced analytics. So I think these are some of the important steps in the playbook for successfully implementing predictive maintenance solutions.
Implemented around 25,000 tags, IoT tags in the plant, and then we're collecting data from those tags. And the data is coming from a central place, and then we are getting some kind of informative dashboard we have created. This journey has started only 2 years back, and we have reached to creating a dashboard. Dashboard is giving you a very good picture of looking at the trends, looking at the plant operation. It is giving us related that which plant and which equipment is going to fail, at what time it is going to fail, what is the utilization of the particular equipment in the plant, how do you compare one plant productivity with the other plant productivity. So these things are coming out. This dashboard is giving us the real picture, real-time data, but we have not yet integrated with ERP. That journey is still with us, and we are working on that, because it is right that we are getting the information and doing the plant maintenance, predictive maintenance with the help of our ERP is taking time, because it's manual data transformation from one place to other place. And then, so Nikhil, what he has rightly said, it is really a lengthy job. So we are also working on that line, and I think soon we'll be getting this work completed. So integrated system will be using that thing. So this is what we are doing. We also have power plant and renewable energies are there. There also we are getting all these kind of data simulated at one place and creating a useful dashboard for various people who are there in the management category.
At Penna Cement is first thing we identify what is the low-hanging fruit, which at a basic minimum is completing digitization. Anywhere there is manual work or paperwork or moving data from system to system manually, we've digitized that. Be it in any of the processes, be it sales and marketing, logistics, or procurement. Then we move to transaction-based operations digitally by the users. Next, we work on next level digital collaboration, like a single source of truth instead of having multiple islands for communication. We also worked on reducing the number of digital interfaces so that users can use the minimum number of systems. Something like Bloomberg has a single dashboard giving a 360-degree view for any of the stakeholders. The last thing that we've always worked on is advanced reporting and analytics. That's always been a very complex kind of an initiative because of so many stakeholders involved, be it the data readiness, the departments or systems. So that is how we did it. We would first work on the low-hanging fruit, which is digitization. Then work on transactional, kind of operations. And also mobility is a big thing, where everyone can be online 24/7. Whatever is available on your desktop in the office is available to you for analysis or for interaction anytime, any place. That has been our journey over the years. We've been doing that from department to department. That's how we've done it. Now, obviously, something that has made us successful in adoption and change management is including senior management, working with the senior management, and also being very, very empathetic when it comes to the users.
To talk about digital or automation, we were always talking about some computer or some PC. Now we are always talking about mobile. So getting everything shifted to mobile. So safety, around 2 years ago, we got an app build up. So anybody going for inspection, then and there can log in all kind of, unsafe act, unsafe condition and everything right from their mobile. And so what happens is not only that logging part, then the app comes into play and it starts analyzing. So suppose you're talking about certain kind of unsafe condition being there in that particular location, the app will also analyze whether it was there 3 months ago also, or whether those kind of things are happening all over plant. So the analytic part is also automated. And then the dashboard is presented. So what we were able to analyze in a maybe week's time, now we are able to analyze every day. If you want, we can analyze instantaneously. Like now also, if I want to see how many unsafe acts or unsafe conditions or what is the kind of near miss which happened in my plant or any of the plant which I am seeing after. So there I can immediately click of the app. And so that is something on, talking about safety and safety system. Similarly, now visually enabled devices are also there, which are getting integrated. So like earlier and mainly failed by Corona time. So now when earlier you have to take inspection of a site, then there will be a cross-functional team and they will visit that plant and ultimately, so that much of time and energy will be there. Now by using visually enabled devices on helmets, you can ask somebody who is already there in that plant to actually show you the entire plant from there itself. So, so the entire safety inspection in a very clear high definition mode you can do, and you can see what is going on in that plant whenever, even if you are sitting 1,000 kilometers away. And then, so those kind of things. So similarly, if you look at identification, because we talked about these visually enabled or enhanced devices. So then again, checking of suppose raw material is coming. So now you have got a clear-cut identification of what kind of profile you are looking at from this particular limestone. You can look at size or type of limestone and you can identify whether this kind of limestone size is high or low, and then you can say that whether it is going to damage the crusher input. So that kind of, so if we talk about so many those kind of applications have come up in terms of safety, efficiency, environment, everywhere.
Today, because there is no traceability in many of the processes, when you have a shipment being dispatched to the distributor, and if he comes up with a complaint, for an example, let's say he says that there is 20 ton of shortage in the shipment that I have received, and I'm a distributor who is working with you for like 10 years, 20 years, right? So there is no method for you to counter argue or prove that my complaint stands correct or not, right? So what currently happens is that there is a there is a negotiation on a trust basis that happens. The plant will say that no, maybe not 25 ton of shortage might have went, and they'll give the waiver accordingly. but there is no traceability to look at what had actually happened on the floor and take the corrective measures accordingly, right? So we very regularly and frequently take insights from the industry on how our systems are going to help them and how data can be utilized in ensuring that this malpractices doesn't happen, right? So these are some of the areas where real-time monitoring and technology like AI has a huge role to play in optimizing the systems.
What is the new digital technologies to watch out for the cement manufacturing sector, which is going to make the most impact in next 4-5 years? We have AI, ML, we have robotics, VR, AR. We have so many different technologies which are coming up. In one word, if you could tell, what is one technology you feel will be most impactful, Ganesh?
According to me, it is all the sensors, IoT, and other things, because we are very nascent stage. The cement plants and other concrete plants are very large. In one particular segment of a department or a function, you have implemented it. Implementing across the organization can lead to a different segment altogether. So I think that will continue for next 3 to 4 years. People will go on experimenting all those things. How to take the data from the machine to the decision point. That is the first challenge in this industry.
Sensors and IoT is what you said.
Yeah, sensors and IoT.
Nikhil?
I think AI ML, if we look at it from the overall cement industry perspective, because it's not only about manufacturing, but also sales and marketing and in every field. So how well we are able to leverage AI ML.
Okay, AI and ML. Chetan, I see that you reached your place.
Yeah, I've reached my place and
Okay.
now settled. So obviously, things like because artificial intelligence and machine learning is going to get embedded everywhere. But my understanding is that the necessary shift from office to mobile is really going to be the thing. And then server to blockchains is also one of the things which is going to play a major role when we talk about, coming next 5 years.
Okay, interesting view. Vamsi?
I think from what has been mentioned already, other than that, I would see that maybe there will be more automation in sales and marketing. Currently, it's very sales personnel heavy, cement industry in India. I think, and increased digital engagement with the customers. I see that happening in the future.
Okay. Rajesh?
Manish, I think from a manufacturing perspective, it's going to be robotics and automation. One specific area is packing plant. You have 300, 400 guys and 4 machines will do the purpose. High risk jobs, work at height. You have drones coming in and doing the painting jobs. I would like to take it as like a combination of robotics and automation.
Robotics and automation, very interesting. Yeah, Manoranjan?
What I think is it should be a AI ML based some solutions which are going to increase the manufacturing capacity, and also for the management, if it is what we think is voice enabled analytics system, like Alexa is integrated with your dashboard. So senior management, they don't have to write anything and they don't have to do anything. Simply ask Alexa what is the sales and what is the dispatch for today. It will come out from there. So that kind of thing is what we expect.
Interesting, very interesting view. Mandar?
If I have to choose one, I would say 5G, because I think the the different aspects of the digitalization, I think they can be connected seamlessly and the information exchange can become extremely fast. So let's see how it pans out.
5G, okay, very interesting. Aditya, one final word from you.
No, Manish, I would say that combination of all this technology will ultimately play a huge role. You need sensors to collect the data from the assets. You need 5G to transfer that data, and then you need AI to translate that data into meaningful insights, right? It will never be the case that only one technology will have an ultimate impact. It's usually the combination of these technologies put together, created with the right recipe that gives you the end results. And I think we will see that happen really